to be talking about financial health and how we could go ahead and help anybody. Actually, if you don't have to be, you don't have to be a millionaire, or you don't have to be a private client. Everyone, money is important, and I want to make sure that you guys are aware of how to utilize it and how to make sure that uh, we're guiding you through success of it as well. So, I mean, I've met millionaires, and I've met people who had $1 in their checking account. So don't worry, this is not just for rich people. This is for everyone that needs to know. So I do want to introduce Janice a little bit. She is actually my private client banker. She's been in banking for about 8 years, and she's been recognized in California, in Orange County, as a top banker. And she actually takes care of most of my clients who has large amount of money with us as well. And that's me. I'm the financial advisor at JP Morgan Chase. So the picture was actually with Mr. Jamie Dimon. He's the CEO of JP Morgan. So anybody in the finance world will know who Mr. Jamie Dimon is. So I just want to kind of get your opinion. Why do you guys think that finance is important?
You guys have any idea?
Money. You need money to live.
I mean, like I said before, this is a lot more fun if you guys join in. If not, and you're going to just see this guy in a black mask talk for about an hour.
Because financial literacy isn't taught in school that much.
Absolutely. Any other comments or any other ideas why you guys think that finance is important?
Well, that way you can cut back on like expenses that you don't need.
Budgetings.
And as much as I would like to say you don't need money to live, that's not true.
I wish I could live in a world like that as well.
Capitalism.
Capitalism, yes, it's very important.
Economics.
Yes, I mean, this is something you guys are probably learning more and more. And the funny thing is, as much as they emphasize on history, math, and all these in your school, they don't really teach you how to manage money. So I kind of wanted to kind of show you a little bit of facts of what's going on in the world. 47% of Americans are spending more or equal to their income. So what that means is they don't have any money after they get their paycheck. And 36% of Americans are not unable to pay their bills online. And I'm pretty sure you guys heard about credit card bills, cell phone bills. These are things that we do have to pay so that way we could use the services. And if you're not able to pay these, then you won't be able to text your friends on your iPhone, or do your FaceTime, or do your TikTok videos, for example, right? And 3 out of 10 adults have family income that varies month to month. What that means is that 3 out of 10 adults do not have a stable paycheck. Sometimes they get a higher paycheck, sometimes they get a less paycheck. So it's really, really important that you guys have a full control of your money and how you guys go ahead and manage it. So that way, during the shortcoming, you could go ahead and be prepared for those times as well. And ultimately, this was a shocker for me. 40% of Americans would struggle to come up with $400 for an unexpected expense. Now, how many of you guys think you guys could come up with $400 if you guys need to pay for a hospital right now?
No. I'm broke.
Well, that we are in the 40%, so that is why we wanted to go ahead and share this with you. I like David. He's funny.
Eat for yourself.
Robotics is expensive, man.
It is. It's expensive. So I'm gonna actually let Janice kind of talk about banking, because that's what she does, and that is her forte, and she's an expert on this area. Again, please feel free to ask her questions. Even if you think it's a dumb question, it's not a dumb question. And I do like seeing Janice freezing from time to time to think about what she's going to answer that with. All right?
And why do you guys think is there any, do you guys have any thought right now? No, clue?
I couldn't really hear you.
Oh, sorry.
We can't really hear you.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's the mask. And I have a really loud voice where Janice is very nice and quiet. But who has a bank account right
So
now?
who has a bank account right now? Oh, okay, good.
Nope.
No,
Not for
no,
that.
no. David has Bank of David. It's in his pocket.
I have no pockets then.
Why do you guys think a bank account? You need a bank account. Is there any idea?
To keep the money in a safe place.
Okay. I was throwing that question to my husband last night, and also I was told Richard. I asked my husband, why do you need a bank account? He said, you don't need to hiding your money under the mattress right now. Like the old generation probably hiding in a mattress, or maybe the kids that like piggy bank. They put the money in a piggy bank. Now we need to put it in the bank account. It's more safe. It's more safe for you. You can save money, make money, and convenience and peace of mind. So why is like that? The bank account can help you to keep your money, and it can track your money. Oh, sorry, Richard did something.
Oh no, I'm just. Can you guys hear Janice? Okay, because
Yeah.
I know that
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a
It got a
little
lot
bit.
better.
Okay.
Sorry,
Get closer to the monitor.
So you can access your money, especially you can access your money anywhere you go and anytime. So like 2020 right now, who doesn't have an iPhone? Who doesn't have a smartphone or Android? So for the bank account, you can link with your debit card too. And you can avoid getting charged fees for using transactional service, like people give you cashier's check, or people give you like a gift for the check. You need to go cash in for those checks. Normally they'll cost you money if you doesn't have a bank account. And if you does, that's absolutely avoid the fee for those. And also, if you have an account, definitely you can take advantage for the bankers. They can assist you for your needs and then help you get your to achieve your goals. And also, the bank account. I know the interest is low right now, but definitely better than nothing, right? When you put a money in a bank account, they can help you earn some interest right now. And also, I don't know if you guys noticed that for bank account, it's FDIC insurance. So it's a government protection. You can help you to put the money in a safe place.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Mhm.
So I see you guys taking notes, and like that's really awesome to see that. And I kind of want to get thoughts on who has actually, out of all you guys, who's been to the bank recently? I see just head shaking.
To withdraw.
Nobody's been to the bank?
Yes.
Yes. So has anybody does anybody know that they have an account anywhere? I see Andrew. I see Nikki. Yeah, so I mean, ultimately we need a place to keep the accounts. Now, the reason why the bankers and tellers, there's a lot of people there, is just so that way we can go ahead and kind of assist you and guide you how to use your money and how to use those services. Just like how you guys look up manuals for your iPhone or for your Zoom or for your laptop. We know the system and we know how it works. So our job is to kind of go ahead and teach you how to use that system. So that way we can save you money, we can make you money, give you that convenience where you could bank anywhere, a touch of your phone, and provide you with the peace of mind. So that way, hey, my money's still there. It's not like, hey, mom, can you hold on to my money? And you never see it ever again. Any questions? And so you guys are really, really smart. We're doing a really good job. So I'm not sure which one it is. Yeah.
I'm just trying to internalize everything.
What if my mom?
Take your time.
What if my mom says she'll take my money, but she'll put it in my bank account? What do I do about that?
Well, most of the times, your mom will actually put it in your account. But something that I did when I was younger is I actually had a little chart of brochure where I could go ahead and keep track of how much money I'm giving my mom. And I'll just kind of match up to it and see where it goes. And
Did that work?
it works. It works. And, this is why we have online banking and people could access it. And now a lot of the online banking services, you'll be able to go ahead and manage your money that way. Okay. So I'm going to go over a little bit about what we call financial journey, because this is we kind of label into 4 separate categories for you guys to kind of understand and kind of simplify it. And I know you guys are smart, but I realize that we can always expand a little bit more by simplifying than try to talk about options, dividends, and all these things. And you guys can be like, oh my God, that guy's so boring. I never want to be in this thing ever again. All right, so Janice is going to take it from here.
For the financial journey, they have they call SMART goals. I don't know if is like anybody ever heard.
Yup.
before?
Getting some elementary
Ooh.
school flashbacks.
Ooh,
Oh, who said that?
that's
David?
like 30 years ago for me.
So SMART goal actually stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, or time bound. They're talking about you have to set up your goal directly, like what your goal is. So what are you saving for? Or measurable is like you need to give yourself a target. It's like reasonable target. Like for example, like save $200 per year or $500 per year. It's never give yourself like I'm gonna save like $1 million, like always Richard's doing $1 million per year. Or achievable is you need to give yourself like make sure it's a reasonable for the target. And also for the time bonds, you have to make sure give yourself more time. It's not like forever. Maybe give you like a year, end of the year, December 31st, and make sure how much you can save. And anything for you, Richard?
No, I mean, just to simplify it, let's be reasonable, guys. If I have told you that, hey, my goal is to buy a Lamborghini within the next 30 days, how much do you guys think I could actually achieve that goal?
Less than 1%.
I mean,
Whoever's
I don't know.
nodding their head, they really believe in me. But you guys know that it's not realistic. But if you guys have something measurable, timeline, and all these things, when you have a goal-based mind, it's a lot easier to reach those goals and achieve those goals. So what Janice is trying to say is, I joke around saying, "Hey, Richard, how much do I owe you for that boba?" And I go, "Oh, you owe me $1 million." Just because I know that she can't pay me that money, so I could just tease her about it. But you guys want to make sure the SMART goal is you got to be specific. It has to be a measurable goal. It is something achievable. It has to be relevant to you, and you have to set the time bound for yourself, so that way you can keep a track of all those things. So, moving forward, what are your goals? So let's go with David's been talking a lot, so I'm gonna pick on Andrew instead.
Yeah. My goal in life is to go to UCI.
Yeah.
Unless we're talking
That's a
about
great
money.
school.
If we're talking about money, I want to be a billionaire.
Well,
Me too.
that makes 3 of us, or maybe all of us, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about specific, measurable, relevant goals.
If I
I'm
dream
sure
hard
we can
enough,
get
I'll
there.
make it.
Well, we're gonna talk about how to get there. Let's go ahead and think about a short-term goal. So when you set
I
goals,
want to
there's
make
the time bound.
$10 by the end of this month.
$10. Okay. What about you, Sachi? I see you.
Sorry. A goal I have short term would be probably to pick up a new hobby by the end of quarantine because I want to like learn new things. But like if it's money related, then I feel like I want to earn at least $100 by the end of this month, so I can like
Okay.
work out by like doing chores for my neighbors and my family.
Okay. Anybody else want to volunteer? I could just pick on you guys all day. So.
Actually, I have a question. So I was wondering, in what ways could scholarship money be able to help with? Like, is it just strictly academic, or could it pay for some living expenses as well?
So the scholarship money, it's a little bit different from banking question. However, scholarship money, it really depends on like the category of scholarship you do get. Some of them will pay for your books, some of your living expenses like your dorms. and for your school. So it varies by the scholarship, and it'll clarify it every single time when you do go ahead and get the scholarship as well, even for the student loan factor as well.
Okay.
I also have a question.
Okay.
For example, if you are like start out with a bad credit score, how exactly, if there's any way to like to make that score going back into the positive for like
Okay.
a bank?
All right, Ryan, you actually get extra kudos points because that's what I'm going to talk about.
Sorry?
Slides. So you definitely get. I'm actually going to be going over that shortly. So you get kudos from actually kind of pointing out what is really, really important. So I think, and I will go over that with you shortly.
You already
Oh,
know
okay.
what you're gonna talk about.
I like Ryan. He's smart.
Thank you.
Anybody else? So I haven't heard any goal other than Andrew. He wants to be a billionaire, and he wants to make $10 by end of this month. Sachi wants to get a new hobby and also get $100 by end of this month by doing hobbies. So I really like how Sachi's kind of setting those goals. It's measurable, it's realistic, and it is something that you could do in the time frame. So that is something I would definitely recommend for you guys to start planning around. And a good rule of thumb that what you guys can use is there's a short-term goal, long-term goal. So short-term goal is usually anything between 1 year to 5 year period. Anything beyond that will be the long-term goal. So if you guys could kind of categorize it and start making sections of it as you plan out your future, this will definitely help you reach those goals a lot faster. Questions? I see heads nodding, so we are going to go move on to the next side. And we talk about budgets now. So how many guys have ever seen a balance sheet or balance your account or made a budget for yourself? I see Nikki raising her hand and Caitlin. David, you want to Google?
Shopping.
Yeah. Does Google spreadsheets count? Like if you made
Google
like a
spreadsheet counts.
Okay.
I mean, there's so many ways for you guys to do it. Back in the days, they actually have to write down everything on your bank account. They give you a piece of book, like a little book, and you have to balance. It's called balancing your checking account, and you have to track every little check you write or anything that you spend money on to keep track of it. However, what bank realizes is that a lot of people don't want to do that anymore. So we have a thing called online banking. To some people, it's still new, and when I tell some certain clients about it, they still get shocked by it. But you'll be able to see how much you're spending, what you spend the money on, and when it went out. So this will definitely help you with your budgeting. So what do you guys think the purpose of budgeting is?
To make sure you don't overspend.
You don't want to be that 46%, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
To know
Try
how
to reach your goals with the less amount of money you can offer up.
Yep, that's correct. So I kind of go ahead and put it together for you. It's to calculate the money that you earn and spend. And the important thing is you got to spend below your means. What that means is, what do you guys think you need or how much you guys make? You got to make sure that you're spending less than that, because now if you're going overboard, what do you think happens?
You're in debt.
You're in debt, you have less money, or you're borrowing money from somebody, right? And also, when you guys kind of list out how you guys are spending money and what you guys are spending money on, you'll kind of find ways that, oh my God, I can't believe I spent $50 at Starbucks this month. Or boba. I'm not cool enough to know what you guys spend money on these days, but I mean, what are things that you guys like to go ahead and spend money on? What do you think you guys spend the most money on right now?
Food.
Food? Where are you guys going? I thought every place is closed.
Oh,
Delivery?
I need my cake. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I mean, a lot of times it is food. But how many of us have food at home?
Got food. I'm stacked.
How many of us have to actually cook the food?
Oh, yeah, yes. I'm not the only person.
You guys do?
yes.
How many of you guys have the parents help you cook or have somebody cook for you,
Oh,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
So do you guys think that that's money that you could be spending or you could be saving?
save.
Saving.
Exactly. So that's how we kind of go ahead and find ways to save. So that way you're in the habit of saving money as well. And later on, when you are going to be kind of getting more than your allowance or you're working for part-time, you're going to know exactly how much you get paid every week or every month. Now, that's when when you kind of find the limit that you're willing to spend money on those things. It's called setting a firm cap on your entertainment expenses and subscription. So, who has Netflix? Hulu? Any other subscription devices?
Maybe the game.
Maybe the Xbox,
Disney
PlayStation,
Plus. Oh, Disney Plus.
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, Disney Plus. Who said Disney Plus, by the way?
Please.
Please. That's all I have to say. I have Disney Plus. But it is important that you guys understand this is something you guys are spending money month and month. It's not a free service, and this is how we entertain ourselves. For now, a lot of the streaming devices and streaming services or entertainment services is coming in handy. However, once you're living on your own and you're independent, can you imagine you have Netflix, Hulu, Xbox, Disney Plus, and you're still going out to eat every day? Do you guys think you guys will be able to make rent or pay for your electric bill or your cell phone bill?
In the car.
There's Uber. But these are the reasons why we kind of have to be careful with the entertainment area, because these are the things that we want, not we need a lot of times. Okay. Next thing goes to prioritize your spending. What that means is prioritizing is you got to put something in front and as the most important, and you got to make a list downwards, right? So who would like to have a roof over their house?
A little bit.
Okay. A little bit? I didn't see Andrew's hand, so Andrew's okay.
He doesn't need it.
He's a man. So,
He's got the bridges.
I don't mind the
but
street.
okay. How about this? Who doesn't mind not having a cell phone?
Yikes.
Oh,
That's a good question.
Sume? Am I saying it right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Sume?
right.
I like Sume. But we all have our needs, and these are the things that's important to us as far as functioning, like your gas, your electricity, your student, your school, your rent. These are going to be what you prioritize your money on first, and then we can kind of figure out, okay, I have this much left. How are we able to go ahead and save money and still enjoy a couple of the things that we do? So some of the rules that I came up with is the 50-20-30 budget rule. Okay. Who could guess what this is? Because it's right there.
50% needs.
Hmm?
20% saving.
30% wants.
Yay!
All right. So can you guys kind of figure out which category is which? Let's go ahead and pick on somebody we haven't picked yet. How about Nikki?
Me or the other Nikki?
Oh, it's okay. I'll go with you first, Nikki, and we'll go for
Okay.
the other Nikki on the other side. So what do you think needs are?
For me, probably gas,
Mhm.
school supplies,
Mhm.
sometimes food.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine you functioning without food, so food is important.
Well, yeah, but there's food at home, so sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are your needs, just like how we talked about. Your place to live, modes of transportation, and essential needs for you guys to go ahead and get through the day. Like the things that you guys can't survive without. Cell phone is not included, by the way. Now, savings and debt. How many of you guys can guess what savings and debt is? I think this should be a pretty easy one. Actually, didn't we say we will go for other Nikki this time?
Mickey, yes.
But what do you mean by savings and debt? Like,
Okay.
like.
So,
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
so that's okay. I know this one is a little bit confusing because it kind of goes the other way. One is you're paying back somebody, and one is keeping the money for yourself. So saving, it is the money that you keep yourself for those SMART goals. Well, debt is nobody wants to owe anybody money, but these are something you do have to pay off. But let's say you have a $10,000 loan, or for your car, you're not gonna make that payment all at once. There's gonna be a monthly payment for those. So you want to include that 20% of your income into that category. Right?
Right. Okay,
so far we spent 50% of our money into what we need to survive. 20% of it we're paying up our loans, and we're saving money for ourselves. Now we have 30% left. This is something that you could go ahead and spend money on what you want to do, whether it is living in the streets like Andrew wants to do, or taking up a new hobby like Sachi, maybe books, maybe I don't know what's cool. Janice really likes skincare, so she kind of looks into that area a lot as well. So this is where the wants will come in. So what are some of you guys' wants right now?
Vacation.
Vacation.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell?
Yes, sir.
Taco Bell, yeah. Taco Bell's great.
I have like one question that's been bugging me for a little bit. What do you feel like differentiates the budget between, like, say, a millionaire or just a middle class person? What do you think is the main difference?
Main difference is millionaires. I met millionaires who actually is very, very frugal. What that means is they don't go ahead and splurge money and they buy everything they want. They do go ahead and save their money. And I met millionaires who likes to go ahead and go buy a yacht or go buy a new mansion, these kind of things. But everyone has different needs for spending. That's why I did go ahead and put it into a ratio of 50, 20, 30. Because if any of the category is going above that limit, then that's the time for you to kind of sit back and review how am I doing with your finance as well.
Right.
Does that answer your question, David?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. So who has an income right now? Nobody?
Nope.
Counts. So who plans on actually working when they go to school, when they go to college?
Oh, yeah.
Right? And every day you work, you're gonna go ahead and get paycheck because nobody works for free. That's called community service, right? Mm-hmm. So when you go ahead and start making your budget, this is the formula that I do want to go ahead and show you. Income minus must pay expenses plus flexible expenses. So what are the must pay expenses?
Rent.
Rent.
Gas.
Plus.
Food.
Food.
Water.
Water is definitely important. So this will be your needs, right? Now, at least to kind of go with water, you could get a regular water or you could get a $3 smart water. This is where you kind of come into the budgeting, saying, do I really need to spend this kind of money to get my bottled water, right? And what will be your flexible expenses?
Clothes and
Clothes, subscriptions. So can you guys kind of think of what are some things that you guys are already doing for your flexible expenses?
Baking.
Mm-hmm. Taco Bell is one of them, David. So these are things that we can kind of consider, and we're gonna go ahead and go a little bit further about how we could go ahead and help save you money. So something that I would really like you guys to have is, I know that you guys are not getting consistent income, but you guys are not working, but with that exercise that we just had earlier, maybe with the allowance or maybe with the money you make from your chores, I kind of want you guys to set a budget within that category, the 50, 20, 30 category. Is that something you guys see you guys could do?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right? Pretty simple, right, guys? Now, saving money. This is the queen of saving money, so we'll go ahead and let Janice take over.
So starting saving money today. So don't worry, guys. So like we were talking about for the food, for the drinks, like Richard mentioned about the milk tea earlier. Like some of the drinks cost expensive right now. What's the favorite one you're buying today? Oh, our boss bought it.
Oh,
Gongcha.
Gongcha,
Gongcha or what's that other place? Amomo?
Momo. Any of your boba places, pretty much.
And actually, it's not cheap right now, guys. Like a Starbucks, everyone knows. Like you probably spend like a $5. It costs you. You never probably think it's only $5 per day. But actually, when you add up, it's like $1,825 per year. It's a lot of money. If you save those money, you can buy a lot of different stuff and make saving as a habit. Like not for 1 day, 2 days. I'll make sure you guys have a routine. Like every day for $5, you can save over 1,000 right now. And then make sure like Richard's talking about for the hidden savings, like talking about for Disney Plus, his favorite one, or Netflix, or I know you none of you guys you stay home right now. Maybe you guys have a subscribe for like Netflix or also for the game. Make sure those stuff is something you need. And also like cooking food at home, it can help you to save a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think what Janice wanted to kind of clarify is, one, getting in a habit of saving money, because it's not something you're just not going to come across $1 million, or sorry, Andrew, $1 billion walking across the street. It starts from you guys starting now and consistently in being a habit of saving money, and also finding ways for you to save money. So has anyone heard about coupon shopping?
I've never heard of that before.
Never heard of it?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Has anyone seen special deal 20% off on this Uber delivery?
Yes.
Yes.
Yup.
Okay. Similar thing to coupon saving. So you're able to go ahead and save money when you're able to find these deals. And this is how you get kind of frugal person, and also find ways, instead of spending all of it at the same spot, you're able to save some of it and find that hidden savings for you to go ahead and start that savings account. So when we're saving money, what do you think we save?
Money.
We save money for money. That is true.
Depending on what you're buying, you can save calories. Or
Ooh. I don't know. Was that a fat joke? Because I'm kind of hurt.
it's mostly towards me, so it's okay.
But like we mentioned earlier, and this is the reason why we set the SMART goal earlier, is because once you have a goal set up, it's a lot easier to reach those savings. So for example, right now, I think, who said they want to travel? Was it Caitlin?
Mm-hmm.
So my goal every year is I want to travel internationally once and domestic once.
You cannot travel this year.
I cannot travel this year, but I have a very specific goal and I know how much I need. So I actually go ahead and set aside a certain dollar amount to go ahead and put towards that goal. How many of us wants to make sure that we get to eat at a nice restaurant here and there? Right? And we can't just come up and say, hey, I have all this money. I want to go ahead and go out, because these places, they cost money. Andrew, if I'm boring you, it's okay. You can yawn. But so I kind of want you guys to have a short-term goal that you guys could set by end of this year that you guys could reach starting today, so that way we could kind of keep each other accountable. So Mohan, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name.
Oh yeah. No problem.
So what is something that you want to save money for end of this year?
You're muted.
Can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you.
For someone like me who has never done any jobs or like started saving money, what would you suggest to be like an amount that I should set for myself? Because I'm kind of clueless on like how much money you can make as a teenager. So like at the end of this year, how much should I expect, or like vaguely around how much?
Well, think about if you get allowance, or think about any time you get money as a gift. You could go ahead and consider at least that 20% of it something that you should be saving. Is it me or is it staticky?
It's someone else's mic.
Yeah. So that's the whole point. A lot of people think that you guys need $300, $400 to start, but you guys could actually start to $1. The whole point is just like when you make a snowman, you kind of keep adding and adding and adding, and hopefully that it turns to a bigger snowball. That's what we're trying to do for your savings account. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Okay.
So what percentage of your savings should go into a Roth IRA account, and when do you think we should start making a Roth IRA account?
Roth IRA account and retirement, these are something that you guys this is a long-term goal, right?
Yes.
So there's actually a regulation and how much you could go ahead and put it in your Roth IRA. This is where budget comes in handy again, where that 20% should not be, it should be your savings account, including your Roth IRA, should be around 20%. Now, if you could increase that, that's always great, but the rule of thumb will be 20% within your saving and your Roth IRA. And as far as when to start, just like how Janice mentioned at the very beginning of this other slide, today is always a good way to start, because you don't need $1 million to go ahead and start that IRA account.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
I have a quick question.
I'm opening.
So,
Ryan, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
So the Fed recently, I mean, I guess a month prior, it announced that interest rates are going to 0%.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you have a little bit of student debt, like or credit card debt. How exactly would you take advantage of the interest rates being 0%?
So interest rate being 0%, it's what we call a prime rate, where the government charges a certain flat rate, and all these banks or credit companies will go ahead and add a margin. So this is where they make the money. So usually when they give you a loan or a credit card, they give you that margin, so that way, whatever is called a variable rate, what that means is whenever the prime rate goes up and down, your interest is going to go up and down along with that, but they are fixed on how much the margin they will charge you.
Oh, okay. And the margin rate is the government's profit, right?
The margin rate is more of the lender's profit.
Oh, I see. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. And I mean, I know we were talking about saving a lot because this is really, really important. And I wish someone told me this, because I didn't believe in savings when I was in high school. I literally spent every single penny that I had on food and going out. So I really hope that you guys don't make this mistake, because I really hope that you guys are much more well off than I am. When you guys are at my age, I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I really want to see you guys be successful. So what are some things that you guys could think about that you guys could start saving money right away after this conversation? Boba? Anybody? Taco Bell? Anybody?
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus is important.
It's really needed.
Sometimes. So I know this is sometimes it's a little embarrassing to share, but this is something you guys should really, really consider and start saving money right away. Next one, I know Ryan wanted to talk about credit. So this is actually a part that I'm going to discuss more, because I want you guys to make sure that you guys learn how to utilize your credit and get the most benefit out of it. So anybody know what credit really is?
Nope. I'm clueless.
How much money you can spend even if it's not in your bank account at that moment?
Exactly. So when you get account at the bank, they do give you a thing called a debit card. And what that means is it's actually linked directly into your checking account. You're spending that money that you have, that you put it in the bank. Where a credit card, sorry guys, where a credit card is you're borrowing the money to spend the money, and by the end of the month, they want the money back, or they're going to charge you interest. Now, who wants to give money away?
Nobody.
Nobody does. So it is very that you understand credit card. Yes, you might have a high limit, but it is money that they're expecting. Nobody told me this. So me being a very aggressive teenager, I thought limits are there to be broken. So I would actually go ahead and extend my credit as much as I can. And I learned the hard way that I have to pay this money back with interest to other people. So when you guys go to college, there's going to be people who's going to be approaching you saying, hey, credit's important. I want you guys to get a student credit card, which is absolutely correct. However, if you're not budgeting and having a good sense of where you're spending money, this is also something that could hurt you in the long run, because it goes to your credit score. Has anyone heard of anyone saying, oh, my credit score is 800? So credit score determines what kind of interest rate those lenders are going to give you. The higher, the better, right? So anywhere from 900 to 800 credit score, I would probably say that's an A+ to A credit score. Anything from 700 to 800, I'll give it a B. Anything from 650 to 700, that'd be a C. Anything below that, it's a little bit iffy. Now, why is it important? We buy cars, just like how Jonathan talked about. You guys could lease or buy a car, but we're gonna have to borrow money. And do we want to pay 2% interest, or do we want to pay 10% interest? That's where it's going to come in to go ahead and affect that that rate. So that's why your credit score is very, very, very important. Now, Ryan did ask, what are the things that you could do to go ahead and build your credit, or what if you had bad credit? So there are 4 main factors that affects your credit score. One is your credit score itself. Second one is your payment history. This is a big one. So anytime you have your name associated with the bill, whether it's a cell phone bill, electric bill, or your subscription base with your name on it, and you're making the payment on it, these are the things that's going to help you build that payment history. Third one, it is your use of credit. So let's say I allow you guys to borrow up to $1,000, and Ryan decided to only use $200 of it and pays me back. And Janice decides to borrow $900 and she's just paying back $25 a month. Who do you think is going to have a better score?
Me.
Yes, right. Because we couldn't see, right? So Janice thought someone else said it, but it is you. So making sure that you don't have money owed and show on the history of your credit, that's what's going to help you go ahead and build that credit score. And that's also a reason why you do need a credit card to go ahead and spend money, pay it back, and make sure that you show a history of it. Lastly, it is types of credit. This one you guys won't be utilizing anytime soon, but it's not just credit card. We have a credit solution. It's your car loan. It's your student loan. It's also your mortgage or for your home. Or sometimes you guys start a business and you guys need to get money for that as well. So there are different types of categories for lending needs or credit needs. And this is how you go ahead, they categorize it and they see how much of it have you paid off, how long you had it, and how are you guys paying it off. These are all gonna affect your credit score. Does that answer your question, Ryan?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Okay. And I think this kind of wraps up a lot of the banking side. And I thought actually our presentation might be short, but turned out longer than I expected. But do you guys have any questions? Anything regarding banking?
I actually have a question based on like a business startup.
Okay.
So I've always been interested in like starting my own business. I'm not going to share that idea though, but like so
You and I will talk later, Ryan.
yeah. So for example, if you're like a student with like low income, would you like go to angel investors or angel networks to create or get capital for a business startup? Like what would your
There's always different ways for you to get money. Where angel investor in those places, your credit doesn't really mean much to them, right?
Oh, yeah.
So because they just have the money, do they believe in your idea and are they gonna invest their money in you? But for you, Ryan, as far as a business idea, I think it's always good to keep growing it. And if you really feel like that's something that you're passionate about, I do recommend that you talk to your family members or someone that you trust and look up to go ahead and guide you through that idea as well. Because I work with managing people's money. I'm not really good at starting up businesses, so I don't think I'm in the right place to go ahead and give you that advice.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty.
Anybody else?
As for high school students, I was wondering like which would be better, like a savings or a checking account?
I mean, well, nice way to say it is like you can get both. Because you still gotta spend money and you still gotta save money, right?
Mhm.
Checking account is mostly is for you to for daily expense, and saving account is for your for separated with your checking account to help you to save the money. So you can keep it separately, and so you can keep tracking how much you save.
So yeah, checking account is for you to spend money. Savings account to put your money aside, so that way you don't spend it and you're in the habit of saving. And you guys, I want to actually get to know you guys a little bit more and answer more questions. However, our time is actually, we went a little bit longer than we wanted to. I really hope you guys had fun as much as we did, as we're joking around and laughing around, but I really want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable with your finance. Janice and I work at a branch actually right next to Irvine High School, at the right by Mitsuwa. So if you guys have questions, feel free to come by. You can look for me, and hopefully by then we will be able to take our masks off, right?
Sir.
Hopefully.
All right. Thank you guys.